How to create a string pattern. So guys, today we are going to discuss how to create a string pattern. So let's begin. Hello everyone. Welcome to Programming Perception. This is the 8th episode of Queries and Demands and I am Amit Kumar. So today we are going to discuss how to create a string pattern. So let's begin. So to create a string pattern, we should have a string first, definitely. But we are confused between two types of pattern and we treat both of them as a string pattern. So let me first clear that doubt. So we can have a pattern like this. Now, if we are having any such patterns, definitely it seems like a string pattern because it is collection of characters. But to create such pattern, you don't need a string. We can simply have a loop that is running from A till E and that will resolve this issue. Another kind of character types of pattern are like this, in which there are different types of characters that can be used. Now definitely it seems to be a string pattern as there are collection of characters, but it is not. And the reason is there are fixed characters in each line, right? And these characters are even repeating all the time. But if someone asks you to write a pattern like this, so definitely it's a string pattern because the characters are having no patterns. They are not in a proper sequence. They are not alphabetical and even they are not repeating. Some of you might think that AV is being repeated all the time, but there is no pattern in that repetition. And at the same time, the program can ask to accept a string from the user and print a pattern for that. Now today we are going to create a program that accepts a string from the user and prints a pattern for it. Now definitely we need some piece of code over here and let me write that piece of code and then let me explain you the thing. So I have written the code here. Clearly you can see I have created a scanner object, asked the user to enter a word. When I was accepting the word, I used the next method only so that it should be a word, it should not be a sentence. And then I used the trim method to remove all the extra spaces from the beginning and at the end of the string. And at the same time, I am converting the string to uppercase. So this word is having all the characters in uppercase. Now a loop is running over there. Now this loop totally depends on the type of pattern you want to print. So if we talk about the type of pattern that I want to print over here, so the condition will differ. Clearly you can see in the first line. So let's talk about the number of lines first. There are 4 lines as there are 4 characters in the word. So definitely the number of line depends on the number of characters. Second thing, in the first line, all the characters are printed. So there are 4 characters in first line, 3 characters in second, or you can see the same thing with a different perspective. Like you can treat this as the 4th line, this as line 3, this as line 2, and this as line 1. And as soon as you will change the perspective, you will realize that the number of characters in each line depends on the line number, right? So let me do this for you. Here the outer loop will run from the last index, right? So I will be initialized with word.length -1. Okay. Now line number is in decreasing order, hence it will be greater than equal to 0. And this will be I minus minus. I told you whenever the loop will be in decreasing order, the condition will be with greater than. Now here, we will always start with the first character. So hence, j will always starts with 0 and j will be less than the line number, right? So it should be less than I and j will be in increasing order. And definitely we will print the character at jth index only. Now here we are printing the character from the word, so the string would be word. So word.char. Now after printing the character, we are providing a space just for the clarity. If you don't want, you can remove it. And then after we are changing the line after printing all the characters in one line. So I hope this logic is clear to you. So let me run this program and show how it works. So let me enter the value that I want to give, that is Java. So clearly you can see it's printing the pattern that I was expecting. And we can give any word and it will print a pattern for it. For example, let me print blue jay, and clearly you can see the pattern. That's it in this video tutorial. I hope you liked this tutorial, and if you really liked it, put a thumbs up over there and leave your comments about the video. So that's it from my side in this episode. Hope to meet you in the next episode. I am Amit Kumar signing off. Thank you and happy programming.